Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. This will be a video for the hometown crowd, and that means it is not good news. That's right. We are at that time of the year where bills are being pre-filed, so we get a sneak peek at all the ways they're going to try to disarm us in 2025. This is a bill that has to do with new gun-free zones, but candidly, I think it is totally misplaced, as most Washington gun laws are, as a matter of fact. But this one really, in many ways, is going to end up having a far more nefarious intent. I don't know if it's intended or not, but it's one that we need to discuss. I also think that this bill tips off to some other changes we may have coming to other statutes that's going to be a lot bigger and have a bigger impact on you. So today, let's spend a few minutes and let's talk about the bill that won't let you protect your kids. Okay, hey, before we get going too far down the road, we're going down. Let's remember that this video is being brought to us by our good friends at the Sonoran Desert Institute. That's right, get ready to launch your career in the firearm industry today. Get ready to start arming yourself with education today. And most importantly, get ready to start defending the inalienable rights of millions of Americans nationwide, all through our most powerful act, which of course is education. Listen, the Sonoran Desert Institute has a class, degree, certificate for just about anything that you may desire. So for more information, you can check them out in the description box below, or easier yet, just visit them at sdi.edu. Okay, Washington, the first of what's probably going to be a long list of videos as all the new gun control bills start getting introduced in Olympia. This happens in every state. I want you to understand that. It's just that in many states, they don't actually worry about these bills becoming law. We, unfortunately, live in a different kind of state. Today, we're going to talk about Senate Bill 5098, sponsored by Senators Valdez and Saldana. This is a bill that amends RCW 9.41.300. You go, God, Bill, what is RCW 9.41.300? That lists many of our gun-free zones. Our gun-free zones are scattered throughout numerous statutes, but RCW 9.41.300 does seem to comprise quite a few. What would be the new gun-free zones if this bill becomes law? Well, the following. The premise of a city's, towns, counties, or other municipalities' neighborhood, community, or regional park facilities at which children are likely to be present. Cities, towns, counties, and other municipalities shall designate the park facilities within its boundaries where children are likely to be present and post appropriate signage at common access points of the park's facilities premise to notify the public that weapons are prohibited within the park facility. Thank God, because we know that these signs always save lives. Now, what is the thing that tips us off here about other bigger changes? Because you got to read between the lines. Well, I want you to go back and pay attention to this part right here. They shall designate the park facilities within its boundaries where children are likely to be present and post appropriate signage at common access points of the park facilities premise to notify the public that weapons are prohibited within the park facility. You see, this is giving municipalities, counties, and other local forms of government the ability to designate gun-free zones, which under RCW 9.41.290, which is the state preemption law, would not be permissible. But of course, if you've been watching this video here, or you've been paying attention to anything that we've been saying for 3 years now, they are hell-bent at repealing RCW 9.41.290, the state preemption. I'm sure we will have a video in short order that will discuss that bill. What else would be prohibited under this bill? The premises of a state or local public building. A state or local public building means a building or part of a building owned, leased, held, or used by the government entity of a city, town, county, or other municipality, or by the state of Washington, if state or local public employees are regularly present for the purposes of performing their official duties, and that is not regularly used and not intended to be used by state or local public employees as a place of residence. Okay, and then you sit there and you go, yeah, but there's a lot of government buildings I would never dream of going into unless I was armed, like public transportation, things like that. Is there any exemption? There are a couple of exemptions, including a state or local public building does not include Washington State Department of Transportation properties and facilities such as ferry terminals, ferry holding lanes, safety rest areas, and train depots, which are used primarily by the general traveling public. In such areas, weapons must remain in locked cases or remain in a locked portion of a vehicle. Okay, so what they're saying is if you're in a public transportation building, You can't be armed. I mean, you could have it in a locked case carried somewhere else on your person, I guess, but that's not really being prepared for self-defense. Oh, and then there would be another restriction, which would include the premises of county fairs and county fair facilities during the hours of operation in which the fair is open to the public. For the purposes of this subsection, county fair means fairs organized to serve the interest of single counties and are under county commissioner jurisdiction. This prohibition does not apply to gun shows operating on county fairgrounds. Okay, but I said at the very beginning that, I don't know if this is intended or not, but it could have a very nefarious outcome because we can post all the signs we want. We can tell people all we want. Hey, you can't have guns in these areas. But in fact, we know that signs nor laws don't stop bad people from doing bad things with guns. And so in many instances, the one place that a person may want to be armed, especially if you have young children, is when your young children are playing in public. If those were to become gun-free zones, one could only imagine what some lunatic could do at a facility like this. But here's the problem. When you take a look at how the statute is going to define these prohibited places, how does it define it? For the purpose of this section, park facilities where children and youth are likely to be present and places of amusement include but are not limited to playgrounds or children's play areas, sports fields, swim beaches or water play areas, teen centers, community centers or performing arts centers, skate parks or other recreational facilities likely to be used by children or youth. So the statute is basically saying that if you're a parent and your kids are at one of these locations, their life and your life is not worth defending while you're in that particular location. Now, this is Senate Bill 5098. It is only pre-filed. We'll see if this goes anywhere, but this is Washington State and every gun bill seems to always pick up legs at some point. We will be doing more videos about some other gun bills. I got another one I got to geek out on over the weekend, 5099. Might make the FFLs crap their pants, but let me get through it first. In the meantime, if you guys got any questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, and in Washington State right now, that is not much. You should know how to be able to get a hold of Washington gun law by now, but if you don't, that's okay. That information is down there in the description box. If you got an idea for a video we should be doing around here, we want to hear all about it by you clicking on that link right there and just letting us know. If you want to subscribe to our monthly newsletter, the ability to do all of that is right down there in the description box. And then finally, and most importantly, let's everyone remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation, how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay safe.